If you look closely at it here, I tried to. I did mention to the owner that. I bought my kids a new toy. This is a 50cc. It's one of those Chinese ATVs. Pretty neat little machine. The wiring was a bit of a disaster, so that's where we're at right now. It did turn over, but you had to jump the power right at the starter relay. So I'm not too sure what was happening with it, but none of the safeties are activated. None of the safeties work on it, which I'm going to change. So there's this safety here. I just got the handlebars hanging here. There's this safety here where you have to, you hit click. It's a little micro switch. In order for you to be able to crank the engine over, you have to, it's like pushing the clutch in on a standard car. It needs to hit that micro switch. It's a fail-safe where a kid can't bump the starter while it's running. Yeah, we did a little bit of work to it yesterday. Should have filmed it, but I didn't. Kind of lazy mode. I had to replace all the valve stems on these tires. Yeah, these are pretty cool little caps on their little skulls. But I had to replace all the valve stems. They were rotten and pretty much falling apart. I don't think I have any. I think I threw them all in the garbage can. They were in pretty sad shape. So this is where we are right now. Just going through the wiring on it. I think I may have got it figured out. So if we look over here, this would be that micro switch that he just tied it together, and start switch. So this is the headlight switch, right? So most machines you got off, high, and low. I figured it out. The black wire is the power wire, and then if we look over here, we got the starter relay, and then this would be the actual start button. But the button kind of blew up and fell apart, so that's no problem. We can always just put a push button on there. But this is here we stand. I think I may have gotten it figured out. Yeah, I'll put you in the stand here and I'll show you what I've been doing. Get you set up in the stand. I'm just going to hook the battery up. So this is the ground cables. I am just going to hook the battery up. And if I have it figured out and I have it right, if I push the start button, because there's no spring on it, the spring kind of took off on me, it should click the relay. If that's the case, I have it all figured out. We're going to put the wiring back on the bike. Not sure how that camera angle is going to work out, but you're up kind of high. So here we go. So if I got it figured out, when I push this button, it should click the starter relay. Can you even see it? Yeah, so this here is the starter relay. It should click. Uh-oh. Oh, what's going on here? No, maybe I don't have it figured out. Is the key on? I broke the key. Oh boy. Well, that is a bit of a new issue. I don't recall doing that last night. I broke the key in that. That is no good, so it needs a new key switch. Crap. Cool. The key's lodged down inside of there. Okay then, need some parts, need some stuff. I don't think this is something I'm going to be able to buy, so I'm going to take a punch and I'm going to knock these crimps off of here. I'm going to pull this out and we'll see if we can get that piece of the key. That's funny. When I went in last night, that key wasn't broken. Is this one starting to get cracked? Oh, it kind of looks like it, hey? Dang. Well, new key switch should be easy to find. I don't need all these wires, so you got power in, and you got power out, and then this is key powered out. And then the green is the ground. Okay, I'm gonna get a punch, and I'm gonna knock that open. Get that open, pull that out of there, and we'll just have a look at it. Okay, got a little punch. See if I can open these crimps up on it here. There's one. On this side here. Turn this over. I think I need a new vise. This old vise has seen some tough times. This is broken in 3 different places. Oh, good. So we got contacts, kind of corroded contacts, on off. I wonder if this had a start. So maybe zoom you in there so you can actually see what I'm doing here. Zoom, zoom, zoom. As Mr. O would say, enhance. Enhance. Okay. So that looks okay. Oh shoot, I should have marked that before I took it off. Oh, it's got a tab. Okay, perfect. So it lines up like that. I'm still gonna mark that. Just put a scratch in it. Scratch down here. It's keyed though. No pun intended. There's a part that pops up on it that locks right here. Okay, let's see if we can get these pieces out of here. So there is a contact and a spring. A contact and a spring. How am I going to get that out of there? Maybe we should just be able to, why, I'll just pull the whole assembly out. Excellent. I didn't really want to mess with that. Those contact surfaces. Perfect. And then we've got the key in the tumbler. I don't know if you can see down inside there. Get you down, right down inside. Oh, you can't see anything. There we go. So now we're inside there, so when you put the key in and you turn it, you're actually turning this part right here. That in turn turns this part here, and you see these little guys on here, these little nubbies, they contact the contact points on this. So yeah, this is only an on-off switch. Okay. So then we got a couple springs, some detent balls. Oh, hang on, I need a tray. Alright, got my magnetic tray. If you're doing little jobs like this, you need a little magnetic tray for all your parts. Let's see here, maybe I'll zoom you back out. Yeah, okay, there we go. So we got, we're recording, make sure, made that mistake too many times. Okay, so we got springs, and the springs are on top of the detent balls. So we take the detent balls out. Now you can probably just take it out of here. Ooh, dump it out maybe. Oh, uh-oh, what happened there? We'll just take the balls and we'll just dump them in here, just like that. So then I wonder, how do we get that out of there? Should be a locking ring in there somewhere. I wonder, should be a circlip. Where is that circlip? Got some figuring out to do. I was able to get the little part here to start coming up. So let's see if I can pop this right up and, oh yeah, there we go. Pop up and out of there, and then there's the little cover. Oh. I wonder if I can get that piece of that key out of there. We got a half a key stuck in there. I don't know how that happened. Maybe the other half of the key we can get in there. Oh no. No, there's quite a few pieces there that are missing. Okay, gotta do some more figuring. Alright, I think I got it figured out. So, it's gonna be hard for the camera to see or pick up on it, but if you look down inside of here, there's actually a little tab that locks this tumbler into place. A little tab right here. I gotta take that tab, I gotta push that tab in, and I should be able to pop the lock out from the front without wrecking or twisting or breaking. I believe that is how it is. Oh, there we go. Got the tab pushed. Oh yeah, look at that. Like I know what I'm doing. Holy cow. take this out, and this here is the key cylinder, the key lock cylinder. So when you push your key in there, it moves these tabs. Okay, right on. I don't have to buy a new one of these. I just now have to get that piece of the key out of there somehow. So one more thing we got to do to get the piece of the key out of there, we got to pull the tumblers all out. So if you've ever wondered how a locksmith rekeys a lock, he takes the key, okay, a blank key, and he puts it in the slot. And you know, I'm not going to explain how to do it because then people are going to be able to steal cars. But anyway, the idea is when you put the key in the lock, all these little tabs, they line up and they're even. See how they push in with springs? So when you put the key in the lock, it lines that up and it allows the tumbler to turn. So these little guys right here, these little tumblers, they lock into a channel. I don't know if you can see it, but there's channels. See, there's channels in here. It's hard to see with the camera and the camera angle here. See if we can do a little bit of light without whitewashing the camera. So if you look in there, oh yeah, you can see the channels in there. Well, that's what the tumblers pop out and lock against. So that's why old school, you know, that's why car manufacturers kind of got away with this, because back in the 70s and the 60s, to steal a car, all you had to do was pound a screwdriver in, it would blow this all apart and then you could turn it. But yeah, don't steal cars. Stealing cars is bad. So what I need to do, I need to pull all the tumblers out. Make sure I put them in the right order. I need to pull all the tumblers out, and then the piece of the key should just fall out. So that one goes in like that. Right, then there's this one on this side, which is stuck because there's a piece of a key stuck in there. Well, maybe I'm not going to be able to get that out. And with each of these tumblers, there's actually a little spring in there too, so you got to be very careful when you take this apart. So let me see here, hopefully it's recording. So I've done that a few times. I'm going to see if I can pop the old piece of the key out, because I can see the old piece of the key right here. Oh, there we go. See the old key? You probably can't see. Oh, my lighting is terrible in my shop. Well, I'm going to go get a different light. Now I got some good lighting. So, I'm going to try to take the piece of the key out. If you can look, you can actually see right here, you can see the piece of the key that's stuck in there. So I'm going to try to push that piece of the key out. I'm going to have to get these guys all lined up to get that key out of there. And the key's kind of got everything all jammed up. Ah, there we go. Got that piece of the key to go. And see if we can get it from this side here. Oh, there we go. See, I popped the piece of the key out and see if we can grab it. Here it is. That's how you get a broken key out of a tumbler. That's it. That was causing the distress. So, garbage. I probably don't have to take the rest of these out. No, I'm not going to, because I got the piece of the key out. I don't have to. So now this guy goes back in. And if you look at it, it's got a long side and a short side. Short side is going to go where the spring is, like that. Because if you were to put the long side in, it's going to sit up way too high. Or that's actually not even going to lock on there. It's going to sit up way too high, way higher than the other ones do. So we want to put it in like this. And don't forget, the last tumbler is what locks it in into the drum. So now I'm going to show you how these tumblers actually work with the good key. So remember when I said when you put the key in there, all these tumblers line up? Now watch. See how they're all popped up? I'm going to put the key in there, and we can watch them as they all, see how they all lined up? Except for that one right there. This would be the problem child. So that's why this one doesn't like, that's why this key doesn't like to work. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to get a file, and I'm going to file these guys down. This guy here for specifically. Put the key over. And that's why it was such a pain in the butt to get it to turn over, because of this tumbler here is not, this key is not, was not cut right. So where in the stack would that one be? That would be the last one. So it needs to be, the key needs to be cut here. The key needs to be cut right there. I need to get a file. I need to just file that ever so slightly versus filing that, and the key should work. So I'm just gonna file that just a little bit more. It takes a lot of time and a lot of effort to become a blacksmith, and blacksmiths don't give away their tricks because it's not legal to give away a blacksmith trick or blacksmith. Yeah, blacksmith. Yeah. Okay, let's see if that key fits in there now. If it does what it's supposed to do. Yeah, I can't even get it to go in there. There we go. Yeah, it's still up. It's still up too much. So where are we on that key? Oh, we're farther down. Oh, okay. Okay, this is easy. So I'm going to take. I'm just going to file the key a little. So I filed that key a little more, and I think we're pretty close to being there. Yeah, I can't even get the key to go in there. Maybe we're not just about there. Yeah, there we go. No, we're not. We're not there. No, maybe I just need to file the tumbler. I mean, if you were the world's slowest thief and people can't see you in their car, breaking into their car and trying to steal their car while adjusting the key, boy, you'd be a pretty good thief. Alright. And then we'll just give that guy a little bit of a massaging. Take that out of there. I think we are sitting pretty good. Ah, it's way better. Now it won't break the key when we put it in there and turn it. It's got to go in this way though. Yeah. Okay. I'm going to put this back together. Same way we took it apart. So this guy goes in there.
Yeah, I just got.
Okay, I don't know where I was. Kind of got interrupted. But anyway, so I was actually wrong. You want to put this on the last one there. It's not a tumbler, it's just the lock part. It locks the tumbler into the drum. I'm going to have to put that long tab out. Or is it short tab? No, it's short tab. Because if you see right there, you got some witness marks of me scratching on it. Okay, I was right. Yeah, but then it sinks down too far. Yeah, that's fine. And the only way to get the drum in there is you got to put the key in it. So then it goes in. Which way is going to be the best way? Wanted to get some. Never sneeze. I'm going to put just a little dab of this. It's the only stuff I got. This is copper. Stuff is expensive, but it's worth every penny. This is high temperature, never see switch. I don't think this switch is going to see high temperature, like, ever. Just going to put just a little bit in here so things don't seize up. Make it that much easier to operate. And then I'm going to put it in. If you see this, the whatever you call this thing, the case says off. Off is going to be straight up, like this. Make sure that popped up. There it popped up. Let's see. On, off, on, off, on, off. Oh, it doesn't. No, we got that wrong. It doesn't want to. Maybe we'll just go buy a new one of these switches. $10. Oh no, there it goes. But it doesn't lock. Oh no, it won't lock because there's no. Okay, that's good. Good. Yeah, pushing it in too far. Okay. Yeah, we're working good. Looking good. Okay, now I gotta put it all back together. And now we just put her back together the way we took her apart. So the balls, one goes there, one goes there, and these springs with the arms here. Springs are gonna go in there. So I'm gonna put this. Maybe we'll unenhance, so zoom out. You can see what I'm doing. Put the contacts back in. Put some lube on there. Okay, I'm gonna flip it over. I'm going to put some stuff. I'm gonna put the springs in the back side. And I just got a little bit of this never sees on there. That'll stop them springs from popping out. Springs, right. Actually, I want to put the balls in here too. So, get me the magneto. I'm gonna pop those balls out of there on the tray, and the ball is gonna go in here. The ball is gonna go in there. We get the other ball. The ball is going to go in here. So instead of doing it, actually these can fall out. I don't want to have those in there yet. So instead of putting it down, I'm going to actually put the key up into it. So if you look at the key slot is slot, and that is slotted. So this has to go down on top of this, like this, like that. Well, that was easy. Is that turning? That turn with it? Oh no, I think that key is breaking. That key is totally breaking. Oh no. Yeah, gonna have to buy a new one of these. The key is just disintegrating. Yeah, so much for that key. Okay, well, I gotta get a new key switch. Alright. Well, I tried to fix it. Sometimes that happens. Just over time the keys get fatigued and they get twisted on, and oh well. $10 at Princess Auto. All good. Would you believe that I actually found one? I found one and it's got this key on it, and it's even got the same color coded wires. The only difference is I have to wire in the actual switch part. Or no big deal. I could actually just cut it, hardwire it in there. Because those are exactly the same colors and they go to exactly the same spot. Black with white, black, green, and red. Right on. Right on. Okay. So, problem averted. Got a switch. But what I do need to get is a button start switch, because this switch is no good. It just kind of like blew apart on me. So I guess to town I go for parts, and maybe a light switch too, if we even want to have lights on this machine. Alright, I think I finally actually got it figured out. This was a mess. There was so many added on wires and so much other stuff that somebody put on there, and that is all that I cut out of it. Look at that. I also cut out the lighting harness too. The switches were all shot, and the wiring, I didn't like how it was all put on there. But we're all ready, and I got provisions here. This is key on power for the lights. So I got one brown one here, key on power. The micro switch, that it's like the safety switch. So you got to pull the brake back to start it. That works. I got a new start button. The other button was pretty shot, and I put this key on here from the other machine, the one from last year. But that's we are ready to rock. So you want to come over here, turn the key on, push the button, or you want to hold the camera? Here, you hold the camera. Hold the camera. Put this up through your hand like that.
Okay.
Tighten your hand. That's what you're aiming at. Hey, I got a cameraman. Hey, okay, so I'm going to turn the key on, make sure that people can see what I'm doing. Turn the key on. I'm going to push the button, and it'll click the starter relay. Here. And with this button shot. That works good. And then do we click on the safety? It shouldn't go. It doesn't go, but let go of the button, it should click. Yeah, a start button. I'm gonna have to get a new one of these. But yeah, she's all set. Okay, we are ready to put it on the four-wheeler. Key off. Okay, let me push this button. Push the little red button right here. Yeah. So I didn't show this too, I forgot to show this, but we got a new battery for it. But the old battery was just as good as the new one, but new one's fully charged, ready to go, and also I'm going to add a couple different switches to it. So we're going to have a, well actually we don't have to have one of these anymore because I put the key on there. But we're going to have a light switch, so we can put a red one on there for the lights. That's going to be tied into the brown wire for the lighting, and do the lights at the front and the back. And then you got these little beauties. These are pretty cheap, pretty intensely bright for how cheap they were. Let's see if we can hold the camera and make this work. There we go. Pretty awesome little lights. Got some pretty good pizzazz for being little cheap little guys. I got two of these, and we can mount these on each side of the fender. We were thinking something like that. One on each side, one on the fender there, and one on the fender over there. That'd look pretty good. Okay, let's get the harness on the four-wheeler. Well, I got the wiring all on there. We got the lights. Everything's already set. I got the lights. It's just kind of like hanging here. I got the light switches. This is gonna all be shrink wrapped. This is just temporary for now. But that looks pretty good. Get the wiring down there for the starter and the ground. Got it all nice and tucked up there. Well, that's it for today. I'm done. One step closer. This will be another day on this one. Okay, we made some progress on it. Get the lights on. The wiring's all done. This is where the old headlight used to be. I gotta put a cover on that so you don't see any of that. The wiring is all tied up nice. Wires have all been shrink tubed and they work amazingly. So we got this little switch on the side here. So it's over here. We'll turn the key on. Oh, the key's already on. We flick the switch. The lights. That switch lights up. And we got headlights, which not bad for 40 bucks there from the man store, we call it. And it's got a tail light too. It doesn't have a brake light. There's no brake switch on this. I'm sure it was somehow wired into the micro switch up here. I have no idea. The wiring was not fun, and it was not fun to trace, but yeah, it's looking good. She even runs too. We'll fire it up. Engine sounds a little clacky. I think it needs a valve adjustment. That's quick and easy. But I'll turn that light off. I'll just bump the key here and fire it up. No, we won't, because we got to hit the micro switch. Do that with my elbow. My elbow up here. Like that. She's running. So you can kind of hear the top end sounds a little clacky on it. Could use an adjustment, but yeah, everything's good. She wants to take off on you, so the clutch has got to be adjusted a little bit. There's this little nut right here. I'm gonna back it off, but oh boy, she stinks. Yeah, no, it's a pretty cool little machine. Okay, valve adjustment. I'll shut her off. Okay, so valve adjustment. You gotta take the plugs off. So you gotta take it for the crank, and then this is for the timing mark on the flywheel. So we'll take this plug off right here. And we'll take this plug off of here.
Whoa.
Amazingly, I gotta say, this is the first machine that I've worked on where these plugs haven't been completely emaciated. Trying to get them off. Okay, plugs are off. And we gotta get a, well, I don't know what the heck size that is. 15 mil maybe? We're right back with some tools. Okay, I got my tool. Fits in the hole. So what we're looking for, there's going to be a mark in the flywheel, and we'll see if we can find it here. I'm going to spin this around, see if the light doesn't wash you out. Okay, you're looking down inside that little hole. Oh Oh my god, did we get lucky again? No way. We got lucky again. That was the line. Well, okay, let's see what that one was. It'll be let's see, T, I think. T, top dead center. So that was the ignition. So you'll have one that says I. That says F. Well, anyway, one is ignition, one is top dead center. So that right there, the T is top dead center. Now we can pop the caps off and adjust the valves. Alright, got a wrench. We're going to take this cap off of here. I'm going to check the clearance on these valves. Oh my god. Oh my, are you serious? I think this machine was taken care of fairly well. I don't think I've ever had a machine where these caps all came off so nice and easy. You can't even see because my hand is in the way. Alright, there's the valve. Ooh, that looks pretty clean in there too. So we're checking the valve lash. Yeah, there is no valve lash, so I think we got that. Might have that in the wrong spot. It might be 180 degrees out. I'm going to check that. Alright, so we're set there, right? Top dead center. I don't like what I see. There is no lash on this valve at all. I should be able to grab this valve right here, and I should be able to. I don't know if you can see it because oh no, my light's in the way. Yeah, I should be able to make some noise with it. I can't make it. There's no lash, which means this engine's never been into before. And yeah, so what happens is the valve seat wears into the cylinder head. These clearances get tighter and tighter and tighter, and before you know it, a valve has been left open a little bit, and that's how you burn a valve in an engine. A valve not completely sealing, and it creates a hot spot around the valve because the compressed air is allowed to squeeze out around the valve. So I'm going to get some tools. We're going to loosen that off. This isn't a Honda motor, but it's a Honda clone. It's pretty close, so I'm just going to go with Honda clearances. So 2 thousandths on the intake, 3 thousandths on the exhaust. I'm going to get some tools and be right back. So I got my feeler gauge. I'll zoom you in there. I don't know how much you're going to be able to see on this. But here's my feeler gauge. Oh, you can't even see anything because of the light. Okay, it is a 2 thousandths we're going to stick in there. I'll get you in. I try to do it from the other side so I'm not blocking you. But it's we're going to loosen the jam nut. Loosen the jam nut. Is there 2 of them on there? Just one. Okay. And then we're going to, this is the adjuster here, the square part. Ooh, yeah, those valves are stuck open. Okay, I need a pair of pliers. Got my pliers. Especially if a grizzly bear has a mommy bear, or if a grizzly bear has cubs. A mommy grizzly bear is a really mean bear. So we're going to loosen the adjuster up here, if I can. This is pretty tight. I don't think these valves have ever been adjusted on this thing. Nice. I might not be doing this. I don't have the proper tool for doing this. How did that get loosened off? Oh boy. Interesting. Well, I'm going to work away at this for a bit and let's see if I can get that off of there. Okay, so I got that adjuster off of there. Or loosened off. I don't know if you're going to be able to hear this, but it'll just make a nice little tick. That's what you want to hear. That's a loose valve. So that's what you're going to hear in an engine when it's loose. You're going to hear that as it runs. So these were actually pretty tight. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take my feeler gauge and I'm going to shove her down between the valve head, or the valve spring right here. I'm going to stick a feeler gauge in there. You need the right kind of a feeler gauge, but this guy here works because he can. It's only 2 thousandths, right? She bends pretty good. As you can see, yeah, she definitely bends pretty good. What am I doing here? Can't even see. Alright, there it is. So we are going to tighten the adjuster up until feeler gauge is snug. A little bit of drag, too much. A little bit of drag. Right there. There. Now the fun part, if you don't have the right tool, because I can't hold this, you have to back it off a little bit and then tighten the nut up, because as you tighten the nut up, it's going to tighten the adjuster up too. The proper tool holds that little square end. And you see, oh yeah, look at that. Perfect. Nice little bit of drag on there. So I'm going to say the intake is adjusted. So same thing. Yeah, a little bit of movement in there. It's good. That's what you want. Just a tiny little bit of movement. So the exhaust on the bottom side, I'm going to do the exhaust. I'm not going to film it. Same thing. You just pop the cap off. Use your feeler gauge. But instead of a 2, I'm going to use a 3. Alright, it's all done. Caps are on. Valves are adjusted. See if it sounds any different or fires up any easier. Turn the key on. I gotta hit the micro switch with my arm. Oh wow! Wow, that fired up a lot nicer. Oh, that's way better than it was. It's running way nicer. That clutch is no good. Alright, we got to adjust that. Okay, let's see here. Let's shut it off. Adjust the clutch. Alright, let's see here. We want to tighten that. Okay. Alright, clutch adjustment. So, should have to take the jam nut off here. And I believe what we want to do is we want to back the center nut out as far as it can go. I'm tightened up here again. Want to back that center nut out as far as it can go. And then we want to tighten this guy up here. See what that does. See if that tire keeps spinning on it. Okay, contact. Clutch ain't working. Okay. Alright, what the heck. I wasn't doing that before. Okay, let me work at this for a bit. Alright. I got that clutch adjusted the best I could. I had to put another washer in there. That side cover's got to come off. But it's good enough now. This project is done. She runs, she fires. It's pretty good. And I can stop the wheel, right? That's all I'd like to do, stop the wheel. That means that when you're running, but it's kicking and it wants to go. So, it needs more work, but I'm going to end this video here. That's a pretty cool little machine and she's ready for a ripping. But I noticed something funny too. You know why you shouldn't do stuff in the shop when you're tired? So I just wanted to throw the handlebars back on and I wasn't really paying attention to how I was putting them on, and yeah, it's a little off. I don't know what I was thinking when I put that on there. That's not going to steer very well, is it? Way off to the side. Well, that's going to have to be fixed, but then the kids can take it out for a rip. So yeah, here we go. All done.